Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. So it's October of 2025 and we are going into the big holiday seasons leading up to Black Friday. And I know there are still a lot of you who are thinking about buying power stations. So I am going to do a huge review of power stations. And I'm doing it in three sizes. The tiniest, for those of you who don't need much power, the 300 watt hour area power stations, the 1,000 watt power stations, and the 2,000 watt power stations. I have 14 power stations that I'm testing, and we're going to try and break them down by category or by brand. And today I'm going to do brand. I'm going to do the two Jackeries. This is the Jackery 1000 and the Jackery 2000. So in full disclosure, I paid my money for both of these units. Jackery didn't send them to me. So I want you to know you can trust what I'm saying. I've paid I own them. I bought most all of them I bought with my own money. And then if I like it better, I'm going to take it with me. So the one that goes with me is the one I think is the best. And it isn't based on what they sent me or anything else, just sheer quality and determination of which one is the better one. There will be links for everything that we talk about down in the description below. Jackery is the old timer. They're the GOAT, the greatest of all time. They kind of, the OG, the original gangster. I mean, I know all the sayings. I'm cool. But they really are. In 2019, I was at the RTR and we had about 10,000 people there. And there was a guy from Jackery just walking around, and if he found a YouTuber, he handed them a Jackery 500. And he handed a lot of them. I got one of them, and I tested it and did a review on it, and all those guys tested it and did a review on it, and that was the smartest marketing a human can do, anybody can do. And so they exploded, and Jackery owned the market, created the market for a very long time. Everybody else then started coming in and competing. But Jackery made a huge mistake. They just rested on their laurels. Their product stayed in 2019 while everybody else that came out after them, Bluetti, ECOFLOW, and there have been a whole bunch of them have come in since then. Anker is now making them. DJI is making them. Beyond the big names, there are dozens of clones. And so your choice in the power station market is just enormous. But they had such a huge head start that it wouldn't surprise me if they were still the leader. I don't know the sales statistics. I could be wrong about that. But a lot of people just automatically think of Jackery when they go to buy a power station. Now, fortunately, they have updated all their power stations. They've come into the modern times. This is the 1000 and 2000 V2, the version 2. These are both LiFePO 4. Do not buy a power station that's not LiFePO 4. The old one was lithium ion, and it had advantages. It was lighter, for one thing, and that's a big plus. However, they could explode, whereas a LiFePO 4 and also can explode extremely less likely. LiFePO 4 is probably the most safe, commercially commonly available power station or any kind of battery. LiFePO 4 is really excellent. But they had 5 times the lifetime. So the original Jackeries, they guaranteed them for 500. Some of them went up to 800. The chemistries got better. I think some of them they even guaranteed for 1,000 cycles. Whereas LiFePO 4 starts at 3,000 cycles. If you don't get 3,000 cycles out of a LiFePO 4, then that's a disappointment. Something's gone wrong and it was defective. So LiFePO 4 is very much better. These are both LiFePO 4. From here on in, I'm sure they'll all be LiFePO 4. So they've come into the modern ages. The first one didn't even have a USB-C. That original 500 didn't have a USB-C port because they weren't commonly available back then. Most people didn't need them. Well, in 2025, everyone wants USB-Cs and the maximum number of them. And so they've caught up. They're not ahead in anything, but they're caught up. And for the most part, they are a match for any of the other power stations. And as you can see, these are very small. And one thing they're leading is these handles. These handles are so much better than everybody else's. I can carry it with one hand. So that's it. To my mind, the handles are a big advantage. They're very small, very light. Nothing smaller or lighter, I don't believe. And that's huge. To me, that's huge. So first, let's address the question, who are these for? And let's just talk about a blanket statement about all power stations. Power stations are aimed at three markets, either camping, but primarily portable. These are portable. That's why their size is so important. Small and light, portable. You pick these things up. You and I'm speaking almost entirely to a nomadic audience. We live in our vehicles, where we travel so extensively in them that size and weight and power means a lot to us. So that's one market. Camping, nomadic, portable. Another market is house. If you live in a house and occasionally you get 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week, 2 weeks of power outages, then a power station is perfect. And you probably are going to want to pick up a power station, but you're thinking of whole house power, being able to have a lot of really fast charging and a lot of batteries. That's a big deal if it's a whole house setup. So who are these two aimed at? Well, all the testing I'm going to do is aimed at portable, camping, nomads. They're small, they're light, neither of them have expandability. Now, Jackery has whole house off-grid units. The 5000 is actually very highly rated. Now, this would occasionally do a battery backup. You have lose power for a day, an hour, overnight, a day, two. These will be fine. But beyond that, you're probably going to wish you had a whole house system. But so we're talking about nomads. That's who this is for. Now, these are very good units. I can't find hardly any negatives that would be a deal breaker. They're great units. They've got a great reputation. They'll meet almost all of your needs. So we buy these things as nomads, as portable units, as just going camping. If you're just going camping and you want a portable unit, you want to carry a solar panel with you. So let me give you an example. I have 14 power stations that we're testing, and all of them use an XT60. Let me show you that. This is an XT60. This is an MC4 to XT60 cable. You buy this cable, and I'm testing, I think, about 10 different solar panels that go in. Don't buy a solar panel unless it comes with these two connectors. These are MC4s. And this is an XT60. That's become the universal standard. These use 8mm plugs. So why are they not getting up with modern times? Everything else is modern about it except that. And here's my opinion. It's only my opinion. I don't have any facts or anything to base this on. It's my opinion. They want to force you to buy their solar panels. That's it. Their solar panels are all 8mm, and it comes with an 8mm plug that goes right into here. It's simple. And a lot of folks out there don't even know there's an option. Can you buy anybody else? Is there any reason to buy another panel except theirs? So they just automatically buy a kit, and they pay twice as much for the solar panel as they should. And that's why Jackery has stuck to the 8mm. They're selling a whole lot of panels. These are almost a loss leader at times when they're cheap enough on sale, and they're making their money on the solar panel, which is fine. The company has to make money, but their prices are generally a little higher on the power stations, and their super panels are just way over expensive. So the main fatal flaw is that it requires an 8mm plug to go into it, and you've got to go and buy the cable. You have to have the knowledge that you can buy other solar panels other than Jackery, that they'll be a lot cheaper. They'll probably last as long or longer. If it's a hard panel, it will last 5 times longer. The second part of that big flaw is that they will take no more, neither one of them will take any more than 400 watts of solar. Well, that's not adequate. If you have a 2,000 watt power station, 400 watts is not adequate input. So they will not go over 400 watts. If you go to Jackery's website and you look up this unit, the Jackery 2000, they'll have a picture of it saying, you can charge this on solar with 6 of our 100 watt panels. And then when you get the thing, this is right on it. It won't take more than 400 watts of solar. So their website says you can put in 600, and yet the machine will not take more than 400. Now, I've not been able to get more than 400 in it, and it says so right on the label on the bottom of the machine. I searched long and hard to find out before I bought this thing, and it was deceptive. They told me it would take 600, and it wouldn't. It'll only take 400. They're very good units. If you can live with 400 watts of input and going and buying your own MC4 to 8mm cable, they will work just fine. They're great units in every other way. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now let's compare all the numbers and see how they work. So this has a 2042 watt hour. This battery is 1070, so it's half. And the inverter is proportionate in sizes to the battery. This has a 2200 watt inverter. This has a 1500 watt inverter. Both are plenty adequate. So the weight on this is about 40 pounds. The weight on this is about 24 pounds. It's about 16 pounds lighter, so that's really good. The outputs are quite similar. Of course, this has a smaller inverter, but it's still plenty good. These has two C's and one A. That's a little bit less than most. It's a little bit below par, but it's not unacceptable. It does have a 12 volt. It has three AC outlets, 120 outlets, and it has a light. We'll check this one and compare it, and it has the same three AC outlets, the two C's and the A, and it's exactly the same. So the only difference between these two is that this has the 2000 watt hour battery. This has a 1000 watt hour battery, little smaller inverter, and otherwise they're basically the same units. They work really well in every way. They pass every test. So these are great units. Everything you want out of these units they give you, except the solar inputs, the 8mm jack, the 400 watt hard limit. If that is okay with you, then these are great. How do you decide between the 1000 and the 2000? You think about future. That's the main thing. So if you have very minimal needs, if the 1000 will meet them, and you think they're going to meet them in the future, there's no expandability. It's always 400 watts of solar. If you think that's going to do it, 1000 watts of battery and 1500 watts of inverter, if you think that's enough, then buy this one. It's cheaper, it's smaller, it's lighter, it's got everything you need. If you think you'll ever need more, buy the 2000. And so if you can afford the money, if you can afford the space and the size and the weight difference, then this is the better unit and the one I would highly recommend. I'll have a whole nother video comparing all the 1000s, all the 2000s, so you can see them all laid out. Right now, all we're doing is comparing these two units. So I hope that helps you to make a decision on these units and see which one you like the most and the best. And if so, then like us on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button. That's how I can keep buying more power stations, more things for me to test for you, so you know which one's the best one to buy. And hit that thumbs up button, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye now.